Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Michi Makes Up. Today I have Suqqu's Autumn Winter 2022 collection to share with you. I did pick up 4 items from this collection, but it is huge. There are 4 quads, 2 melting powder blushes, 2 pure color blushes, 5 sheer matte lipsticks, 3 nuance eyeliners, and we also have 2 of the stick highlighters, and then I think 3 nail polishes. That is a huge collection. It makes me wonder because they call it autumn and winter. I wonder if that is the reason why we're getting so many items all at once. Although, from what I've heard, even though it's a big collection, the number per items, the volume per item, are limited in quantities, and because of that I wanted to pick up one of the nuance eyeliners. They were actually out by the time I tried to reserve it, and it is 104 Olive, which unfortunately is a limited edition item as part of this release. But the good news is none of the items that I picked up from this new collection is limited. So that means they will continue to stock it, restock it as there is demand for them. And you can purchase these from a couple of different places online. I got them through Selfridges, but you can also get them from Liberty London, Harrods, and I think Cult Beauty is the 4th online retailer in the UK you can pick them up with. Although I did not see this new collection on their website. I don't know if it's because it's sold out, but anywhere you can find Suqqu or buy Suqqu, and I'll have the links below so you can go directly to it. All right, from the collection itself, let's take a look at what I actually got. So this is one of the quads. We have number 10, Ito Hatsume. And it is the combination of this metallic gold plus this kind of brick brown that really grabbed my attention. But this shade here is actually a duochrome, I believe. It's a lid topper, but I think that there's like it does reflect kind of silvery and like a dusty champagne. I'll swatch all of these so we can get a closer look here. The other quad that I picked up is number 9, Kaori Kaze. Can you guess why I picked this one up? It really was for this green shade. Because number 10 and number 9 are actually kind of similar. Because of the gold, because of this, with this red undertone with this matte shade here, and the red tone here with the metallic shade, you'll see when I do the swatches, they can actually appear quite similar. I'm going to create a look or demo this, one on each eye with the quads, and I'm hoping I could create a look different enough to showcase the two. But if you were off the bat to ask me, just based on the swatches I did for TikTok and Instagram, I would say I don't know the two are different enough to get both of them. But because I do review makeup for you guys, and out of my own passion and interest, I didn't mind picking these two up. So we'll see. We'll see in a moment here. And then from the blushes, the 4 different options released, I did go with a melting powder blush. I do think I prefer their melting powder formula more than their pure color. So if I had to choose one, or one formula over the other, this is what I went with. And I think this is such a flattering and beautiful autumn winter shade. And for lips, I have the Suqqu Sheer Matte Lipstick here in the shade number 14. It's actually a beigey, deeper nude shade. And when the Sheer Matte lipsticks came out last fall, I picked up 5 different shades. And I haven't picked up any since then, but when I saw this nude option available, I really wanted to try it. I really think it's a bit of an underrated product. I think there's a bit of a disconnect because it's a matte texture and matte finish, yet it's sheer. It's really not that sheer. I think it's beautiful because some of your natural lip pigment does come through, because it's not quite as pigmented and saturated like Lisa Eldridge's Velvet Matte lipsticks or her insanely saturated lipsticks, but it is still plenty of pigment. So I'll show you what I mean, compare against some of the other sheer matte lipsticks that I do have, and hopefully if you guys have any questions or reservations about the product, you can see through this demo. Let me go ahead with the swatches, and I'm going to start with number 10. So we have the lid topper here. Very soft, very classically Suqqu style. And then this is a metallic brown. And just let me smooth that out. Then we have a metallic gold and that brick red shade. So we have a sparkly lid topper, 2 metallics, and a matte. Moving on to number 9, we'll start with the lid topper. You know, actually, I don't think number 10, the lid topper, is actually duochrome. I mean, because of the sparkles in it, yes, there is that chromatic effect, but it's not like this one here. This is truly duochromatic, but it's very light. It's also the lid topper from number 9. And then we also have a golden metallic shade, olive green. I don't have, or I didn't get additional product, I'm just smoothing this out. And then for the matte here, this green is not as smooth as the one on top, like the brick red. So let me do that again. You can see the similarities because of this gold and this brick red. You can see that, you know, looking at it like this, they might be kind of similar. So I'll go ahead and try to create looks with each of these and see just how different they can be. And maybe it's not that different at the end of the day, but we'll figure it out. Next, I'm gonna go into the blush. I think it's just sublime and it's beautiful. Then we have the sheer matte lipstick. I think it goes supremely well with the blush and any of these shades. Okay, let's jump right into the demo. Again, I'm going to start with number 10 here on the right eye. Going into this matte shade here, I am putting that as a base on the lid. Then I'm taking this metallic shade here to deepen the outer corner. I'm going to work more of that product into the crease. Dipping into this metallic gold here, I'm adding that to the crease, starting from the inner corner and then moving outwards. And then using a finger, going into the lid topper here, just popping that into the center of the lid. And then I'm actually taking the brush that we use for this matte shade here and putting that under on the lower lash line. And I'm going back with this mini booster brush here where we dipped it into this deeper metallic, and I'm just gonna reapply some of that. I didn't dip the brush back into the palette, I'm just taking what's left on the brush because I think some of the gold covered it up and I want that contrast to still be visible between the gold and this deeper metallic. Okay, well that is the right side. I'm going to jump into the left side here with number 9. I'm taking this gold shade here and I am placing that all over the lids. Taking this olive green, I am applying that generously on top of the gold, but we're leaving out the crease. So just right around these areas. Then we're taking some of the red here and just putting that on the upper lash line. And we'll drag it down to the lower lash line as well. And with the finger, we're going into this beautiful duochrome lid topper. And then I'm just going to go back in with a blending brush here to buff out any seams between the gold and that olive shade. Soften it a bit. I do want this olive green to be more visible, so I'm going to go back in and just add a little bit more on both sides without covering the lid topper. And then we're also just lightly brushing this on the lower lash line to get some green under there, make it a little bit smoky. Going back into this duochrome here, I'm going to put that onto the inner corner. We're going to go into this blush. It's cool but not too light in pigment. It just gives you this nice like glow because of the formulation. Just has a sheen to it. Now on to the lipstick. We're nearly finished with the look. I did off camera put on mascara and some bronzer. I do want to put some highlighter on because the glow stick that I wanted to get was sold out. I don't think I mentioned this in the beginning of the video. I'm going to use instead Victoria Beckham's Reflect highlighter stick. This is in the shade Pearl. She only has one out, but I would imagine she gave this, you know, the Pearl shade name because there's probably going to be more options available in the future. So we're going to go with this. All right, we are glowing. We got some bronzer on and the look is done. I'm going to come a little bit closer because I want to show you guys the lipstick. You can still see my natural lip pigment, and I have dark lip pigment on my upper lip especially. So you can see that coming through, but there's still enough saturation in the pigment from the lipstick that you can tell I have lipstick on, and it's kind of smoothed everything out. There's a uniform shade and color to it. In fact, this is exactly the kind of deeper nude I was looking for that I had in mind. So I'm really happy that that worked out. I was also interested in a lighter shade from the same launch, and I think that sold out. So I don't think they were kidding when they said we had limited quantities. A lot of it had been reserved, and so there were no more. And then of course, once it launches online initially, a lot of it gets sold out, or the popular items at least. So whatever is in stock, I think there's quite a bit though, because there are a lot of items, different kind of items. Those will be linked below. And as for the eye look, they are certainly, there are different enough shades to create different eye looks, but because of that gold found on both quads and the red shade, even though texture-wise are different, one is a metallic and one is a matte, you can certainly just focus on those two shades and create the same look if you wanted to. I was a bit underwhelmed with that lid topper, and maybe because I was expecting one thing and got another. When I put this on top of the green, it looked a little bit golden, and not so much purple. So this gives me a clue to use the lid topper a little bit differently next time. If I'm going to go heavy on this olive green here, maybe I'll place it somewhere else. But maybe if I were to do focus more on the red metallic here, then perhaps we can do the center with this lid topper and see a bit more of the purple. But like Suqqu Aesthetics, the lid topper, even though it's a duochrome, it is definitely much softer than what we're used to seeing in the American counterparts with like Pat McGrath, Natasha Denona, and even indie brands that have these just amazing, very saturated, very intense duochromes and whatnot. As for the collection as a whole, very cohesive, very beautiful. You can probably pick any of the blushes, the lipsticks, one of the 4 quads released, and have a very cohesive look that's very autumn and winter inspired. So Suqqu always just have beautiful collections, and this is no different. I am tempted to make a second video comparing this year's autumn collection with last year's, because if I did that whole thing in this video, it's going to be really, really long, but I don't know if there's really enough interest for that. We'll see how much time I have. However, I do want to show you very briefly, as I mentioned earlier, the other sheer matte lipsticks that I do have in my collection that I added last year. So we have here, and none of these are limited edition, so we have here shade number 8. Beautiful plum shade. Gorgeous. And then number 5. And I think number 5 would actually go well with today's look as well. It would just pop more. And then we also have number 3, which is more of a pink, but still very fall, autumn-like. And this is the pink. So there was a lighter pink release with the collection, the newest collection, that was sold out. And I thought that I would get a lighter one because I like nude kind of pinks, and that one will be brighter than this one. And to show you very quickly last year's quads from fall, we have number 106 Saggy limited edition, and 107 Do You Kitty, also limited edition. So I really appreciate how this year we have a number of items that are not limited edition, meaning that they will come back as long as there's demand. I think there was also, understandably, maybe some fatigue, how it's just so hard, so difficult to pick up items, and now we're getting a lot that is going to be available. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of this year's Suqqu Autumn and Winter collection. The items are really beautiful. I am so tempted to, you know, go back and try to pick up another blush or something. But there's just a lot of new makeup that's gonna continue to roll out. There's new makeup from Dior, Chanel, and also recently I launched a video that talked about like upcoming makeup and whether will I buy it. So if you've missed that and you're interested to see what's to follow for the rest of the year, or at least until later fall this year, check out the video. I'll have the link below. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.